Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to check the fresh release from Special Hobby, and it comes in 1/72 scale. It actually employs the P-40 plastic, but as you can see here we get a special edition, I would say, because it's a so-called involuntary from Russia to Finland. So here we get the P-40 Warhawk, which was first under Soviet markings and then it got the Finnish markings, and in 1/72 scale it might be an interesting build for all modelers who are interested in a World War II topic. And of course we have the commercial sample here, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review, so it will be interesting to check what is actually supplied here besides the new decals, obviously, to replicate those three marking options. So the kit number is SH72486. The box size, I would say it's typical for such release from Special Hobby, so here you can see comparison with my hand. And also on the side we have some information about the kit. It's made in Czech Republic, obviously, and here we get also the QR code and again those three marking options. So let's open it. It's a top opening box, and as you can see inside we get the assembly manual on the top, and then we have plastic parts underneath it. So I'm going to start with the plastic parts, and it's a resealable plastic bag, so it should be quite easy and quick to open. Okay, so what do we have here? I would like to start with the gray plastic first, and then we will continue with the various bonuses which are inside. It's just the decals bag fell off, so I had to pick it up. So here we start with the first gray plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to the fuselage halves, and here you can see that one of the halves is molded together with a tail fin, while another one does not feature this element. So obviously this tail fin will serve as a guiding element, and as you can see it's a one piece. Also here we get some of the co-link elements pre-molded, and of course you have to be careful while joining this area together. The same can be said about this chin air intake, because those are quite visible areas on this aircraft, and if I show you them like this, you can see what I am talking about. Also, if I flip it over, here inside we have the guiding elements, and well, do not worry about the cockpit parts, they will be assembled separately and inserted in between the fuselage halves, so it should look great once finished. Next we continue with the wing parts. This is the sprue A, and maybe I will not zoom out, maybe I will zoom in so that you can see all of those parts closer straight away. So this is the lower wing panel. We have the flaps pre-molded, and well, ailerons are also pre-molded, but on the separate wing half. I will show it in a few seconds. Here we continue with the tail wings with the elevators, separate rudder, and this is the frontal section of the air intake. And here you can see the top wing half, so here you can notice those pre-molded ailerons which I was talking a few seconds ago. And of course they will serve as a guiding elements, just like these wing edges here. So quite a smart design, but some modelers will be happy to have the separate flaps, but they won't get it here, and maybe this is something what can be fixed with some aftermarket. So definitely check out some CMK sets, or maybe Edward produces such release. So if you are up for some extra spending, then definitely go for it. Next we continue with another gray plastic sprue. This one is actually the last one. It's a sprue B. And here we get the mix of various parts. Those are landing gear wheels, some cockpit parts, some external parts for the fuselage, and also for the air intakes, several types of the instrument panels, but I think it's worth zooming in and reminding ourselves what we actually get here, because as you can see, for example, these landing gear legs look quite nice out of the box. The same can be said about these instrument panels. As you can see, we have three versions of those, so be sure to use the right one. And maybe if you would like to have more, I think the CMK produces even more detailed cockpit parts, and Edward produces some of the PE parts for the cockpit, so you can get those for the more realistic appearance of your cockpit. But let's not forget that this is a 1/72 scale aircraft, and for some modelers those details will be more than enough, and they will be okay with out-of-the-box project. And for the landing gear wheels, I would rather suggest to upgrade this area, because as you can see they should be glued out of 2-house, and CMK makes really great replacement for this, which is straight install. So it's not a difficult task to get them on your model, and you'll get completely different result. Next we have 2 clear plastic sprues, and I'm not sure why we actually get 2 of them. I guess some parts are specific for the version which was operating under Soviet markings. But here's the sprue H, and as you can see, we get a quite nice molding quality for those clear parts. We get the separate sections of the moving parts, so you can open them on your aircraft, and this is a really handy feature, especially if you plan to add more details in the cockpit so that they will be visible, because as you remember, P-40 has quite interesting canopy design, and it's not that the canopy upgrades, actually cockpit upgrades, will be visible with the closed canopy. Next we have the G version, or G sprue. So here you can see again nice canopy parts. Again, the movable sections are separate, so you can open them on your aircraft as well. And of course, all of these sprues are packed into a separate plastic bag, so do not worry, they will not be scratched once they arrive to you. Next, we have also the separate plastic bag with decals. I'm opening them right now, and we will take a closer look together. There are actually 2 decal sheets, and it's not written where they are coming from, but as you can see, the printing quality is really nice. We get the swastika, which should be assembled out of separate symbols, and we also get the seatbelt decals here, so in case you are fine with such details, you will not need the P parts in this case. And next we continue with another decals sheet. Here we have the stars, and they're quite interesting because they also feature this metallic finish on them. So it's something what will look good in this scale in my opinion, and of course you cannot replicate it with airbrush, so definitely a good thing to have. At least the numbers have the metallic finish, no, but the stars as well, as far as you can see, so yeah. And last but not the least is the assembly manual. So here we will have to close the lenses and zoom out so that you can see this small brochure, and it's color printed. We have short history note on the first page. It's written in 2 languages, and then we start with assembly process. So here you can see the parts map. Of course, crosses means that those parts will stay unused. Assembly process starts with the cockpit, and here you have to plan how you will be painting all those parts, because as you can see, some of them require use of the decals, for example for the seat belts. And then we assemble the cockpit in between fuselage halves. Next we continue with the main wheel wells, and here we install the tail wings and rudder. We also get the option for the cooling flaps on the cowling, which is quite cool, and I hope you remember this feature from the previous P-40 releases. And here are the last steps involve the bomb installation or the fuel tank, and also the canopy choice, whether you would like to have open or a closed version. So that's the first marking option with the Soviet star and number. And here we continue with 2 Finnish aircraft, and I'm not sure if it's the same aircraft. I can see that it's actually the same aircraft, it's just the different marking which was applied throughout the history. So here this history note is worth reading so that you can understand what was happening with it. And of course maybe it's good to find some good reference material to rely on. Here we continue also with the stencils and the really huge choice of the original CMK accessories for this kit. We reviewed some of them, so definitely check them out on our YouTube channel. And here you can see some other 1/72 scale keys from the same brand. This Junkers is quite great, by the way, so definitely check it out as well. So overall, we get a really nice release in small scale from Special Hobby. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion. As usual, write it here in the comment section below. And if you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.